Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. It's been 4 days, 4 whole days since I played Disco Elysium. And my goodness, I have no idea what's happening. We've just been to speak to the big fat dude who has requested that we go and access a door. That is the extent of my memory on the situation. We shall do that. So, we have to open the apartment door for Everard. There's something about the special borscht. We need to look into the race theory thing. Are they time locked? Is that the problem? Yeah. Close the water gate on Wednesday. Today it's Monday. Okay, no problem. We can do those things. Bonjour, ça va?
So, how'd you like our harbor?
It was complete shit. It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains, he notes solemnly, and turns to you, a wild smile adorning his face. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. Everett said you have a key to the door. A key, huh? He runs his fingers through his moustache. What door is this key supposed to open? He said it belonged to a weasel. Ah, say no more. I got you. He taps the side of his nose with a little wink. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I'm not really doing this for political reasons. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it. I get it. I like to keep my distance too, he nods. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for, is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organisation is what you call compartmentalised. Means we keep out of each other's business. Okay, but where did you get the key from? The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. His gaze wanders off into the distance. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? He doesn't wait for an answer. To feed our children, I guess. Anything else I should know about this task? This weasel person? When he'll be home? He shakes his head. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are. What we're fighting for. The man takes a big sip from his flask. Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting. Why are you striking? We're negotiating our share. Your share? Aye. He seems pleased with himself. How large a share would you like? All of it. However, right now we want all the harbour workers to be on the company's board so that they could take part in the decision-making process. Are you a communist? No. He pauses to think for a moment. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying, I want it all to myself, is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are, I can't and I shouldn't. The stuff you do aligns admirably well with the World Republic. Why not call yourself a communist? I have nothing against communists. They're honourable boyaderos. He takes a swig of his flask. And they have a good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code. Then I will have to submit to a new one, which may well be communism. I guess so. See, I am primarily a lazy person. He looks very amused, as if thinking about some private joke or mystery. What can you tell me about Everett? I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he's a capable organiser and a decent businessman. What does bossing the union entail anyway? I guess you kind of got to get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbour, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own. By that you mean corruption. By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is personally not too lavish. That desk seems pretty lavish to me. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanour on a corrupt motherfucker. That'll be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in this world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all. Not you would like to say, but then there's that weasel door. You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. He spreads his arms wide, using the reach to show how much time he has. Fortunately, there's always time. The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding for him. Having command of his time is the most important thing. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider if need be. An endless torrent of time. Any idea who killed the hangman? The mercenary, eh? He shrugs. Who would have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? He shakes his head solemnly. The harbour is a prime area of suspicion. In your opinion, are the dock workers involved in the killing? What a thought, he scoffs, looking shocked. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Pushed how? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. What does that mean? He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honourable efforts. Did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organisations like our union have all sorts of men with all sorts of skills. He means a more violent faction easily take care of such a thing. Understood. The lieutenant takes a note. This has been of limited use, but still, thank you. No problem. I wish you the best in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. He takes a sip from his flask. Thanks for talking. Gotta run. Okay, we're gonna go and open. But I think it might be wise to have a sleep at this point. It is 9 o'clock at night. Our boy Kim Kitsurugi, I imagine, could probably do with going to bed. He does like a sleep. What have we got over here that we didn't previously have? It'll be the key, I guess. I want to get into that mug talk again. It will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted. Well, oh, what's this? All around you, the rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. What am I doing? Looking up at the sky. Cold water dripping from your hat. What do I see? Grey sky, like great battleships. Clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world. How does it feel? Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain, while the city shivers around you. What's in the west? Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave, washing the coast of Martinez with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble into an inlet. Beyond the Bay of Revachol, ghosts rise into the sky. Who are you, ghosts? The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there? Will I? No. You're just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise from across the Bay of Martinez every day. What's down the shore? Urban coastline, rain dripping off it, eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction, a defunct research and development building once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water. And beyond that, Coal City, end of all lines. Run your fingers through your dampened hair. Your hair is an oily mess, flecked with ash from neighbouring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance. What's in the east? The great gates of the industrial harbour are locked. A chill runs down your back. You You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide. Shake your shoulders again. You shudder, looking down at your feet. Dirty rainwater runs veins into the plaza snow. You realise you have no shoes on. Your feet are red with cold. From the corner of his eye, the lieutenant gives your feet a worried glance. Rain drips from his glasses. It's cool, I'm in control. The lieutenant nods, then looks east. What is there? Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates. Red and blue metal shipping containers slip with rain. The Great Revachol Industrial Harbour is an artificial mountain range. Immense wealth resides within, and immeasurable poverty in its shadow. And beyond that? Adrisienne, King Driss's passenger harbour. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms, cranes watching over the mouth of the river distributary. What is across the distributary? Puron, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the city block in half. 7-storey buildings trail off into the rain. What's beyond the Coron? A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide. What's in the north? Capeside apartments, tower blocks, crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in the war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. And closer? A yard. Rain falls into the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle beneath a dead man's feet. He swings from a tree, bloated. Droplets of rain slip from his cold cheeks. South? A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised. What's on the other side? The road ascends. A raised motorway loops around the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork and tar stretches northward. 4-storey buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snow melts on Jamrock. Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood at? Have a brother in the cut, where the wood at? Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood at? Have a brother in the cut, where the wood at? I'm gonna say it again. Oh, I could go all night, baby. Let's see if it... I'm out of curiosity. Why am I not there? To be in Martinez, where no one goes. At the runoff point of a long forgotten canal in the whitest part of town. In the shadow of the day, the revolution failed. Why am I here? Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland. Look further. In the rain-swept distance above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink. What's above? Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. The sight clears. Below? Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater, hidden weapons cache from the revolution. Doors leading down Le Royaume, the catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead. Motherfucker. This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we're dressed for it. Let's keep moving. I don't know why I'm not wearing any shoes. Because it affected our savoir-faire. We now have shoes on. Excuse me. You got anything to say to me, bitch?
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Yeah, my room calls. We can pick up where we left off tomorrow morning. What's this? Is there something in here that I should know about? You got anything new to tell me, young lady?
Hello again, sweetie.
Her grey eyes shine above the rims of her glasses. Okay, nothing to say. Our coach physical instrument worked out, so are we able to now rouse this gentleman from his sleep? The worker is in a deep slumber. Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from, into the primordial darkness. Wake up, this is an order! I am the law. There is only one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth. No words, just a primordial scream. The 30-something man slowly lifts his head and gives you a pensive look. Why the yelling, man? You're alive? You looked out for the long count there. Wait, what? I was just sleeping. He seems pissed off. What do you want, officer? Officer? Even after a rude awakening, the dock worker respects the police. More than they usually do, at least. See anything interesting in your dreams? Thank God, no. Was it a fathomless darkness into which we ought to be deferred, like corpses to a mausoleum? The worker stares at you, his eyes dry from sleep. A web of wrinkles cover his tanned forehead. I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir, but when I'm out, then I'm really out. No corpses, no mausoleums, just quality time. A little me time in the abyssopelagic zone. Abyssopelagic zone. You can never return to it now. Only detective work remains. Wakefulness and detection. Tell me about this Wild Pines. That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics. He doesn't sound too enthusiastic about this. How's that going? How's it going? The dock worker lets out a big yawn, then stares at the cafeteria's terrace doors. Some fingerprints glisten on the glass. Have you noticed what's going on outside? Of course. It's a total madhouse. Good. Then you understand the gist of it. We'd all be better off without the employers and their employment. For one, I could get some goddamn shut-eye. He rubs his eyes, then lets his head fall back on the table. Right to sleep, I say. Why are you sleeping out here while the others are striking? They got it. Measurehead's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm getting some sleep. Or was. The way you said Measurehead implies ultimate trust in the head reckoner's physical prowess. Who's behind organising this strike? We are, the workers, the union. We know what we need, what's right for us. You mean there's no leader? Okay, I guess there's also Everett. He's in charge of the union. He's smart. He knows how to negotiate. He's got our back. What about the dead body in the yard? What about it? You seem cool with it. Do you have many of those hanging from the trees around here? You know people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch. Another one falls in a manhole. Third one gets eaten by stray dogs. He respites. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, how's that my concern? Someone has to look into it. It looks like I'm that someone. Tell me what you know. I can tell you this. Trouble's ahead. You have a pretty solid feeling that the man's not just mouthing off. He's strong, but even he has reasons to be cautious here. The trouble's already here. Or how else would you call a dead man hanging from a tree? They say your guy was a killer, your tree man. He has friends, same as him. Killers. There's only one thing they know well. How to wreak havoc. Who says that? Everyone. It's a local rumour. He yawned suddenly. You're saying things might get violent around here? You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know, and I prefer to keep it that way. The lieutenant gives you a little nod and makes notes in his blue notebook. So Union people think he was a killer, eh? He thinks. Even sleepy here. This doesn't help a lot, but it's something. Good work, detective. Yours? Point at the bottle and the spilt rum. Indeed. Help yourself. He blinks. Wait. No, it's empty. Sorry about that. No worries, man. Go back to sleep. The dock worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep. Right. We have a skill point. Is there anything here? Rigorous self-critique. Mazovian social economics. Advanced race theory. Any of those that we feel will benefit our current predicament. We need to look into the race enigma. But I'm not sure that I really care enough about that. Mazovian social economics, though. We were keen to be a fucking communist just now. I'm gonna go Mazovian social economics. Let's talk. Let's talk about the bourgeoisie. Can I get in here yet? Where's this borscht we were talking about? Well, it's not fucking in here now, is it? Excuse me, drinking my tea. Alright, Mr. Kitsurugi, let's get you to bed. I know how you like your slumber. I'm a little tempted to take some of our advanced psychotropic drugs. Good night, Kitsurugi. You gonna say good night? Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Okay, let's go. It seems like things are unfolding in front of us now. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. A cigarette is such a great idea. I think I'm gonna have one too. He blows you a steady stream of smoke. You're cool, detective. Again, I have only exactly one every night. How did you get to be so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the ash. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will. And unhealthy. Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Right then, the debrief. Yes, he pulls on the cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think it went? Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man, so we didn't even inspect the body. And there's still much to do at the crime scene too. We didn't search it thoroughly enough. He would have put all of it more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up and keep drinking. It's all part of the plan, starting from the outside and working back towards the scene of the murder. It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we conducted an interview with Everett Clare. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however. I'm sure I can get him to tell us more. Claire also helped you. How should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. Big relief. It's a very serviceable name too. Moving on. We talked to Joyce Messier, but didn't get any information from her. He frowns. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow. Yeah, it's part of my Jamrock shuffle. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man your age and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles, suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offences in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. 1,000, why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount in frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. Okay, so what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. How can you be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power protection. Power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. When power calls you, you come. Oh, fuck off. When power calls you, you come, but power itself is a fragile trick of perception. I see, and if someone resists, as you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we're permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It's hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict, we arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couronne and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. Oh, it's records, not records. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket. And it's the coalition government that makes all these rules? Yes. And the moral intern more broadly, but yes. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark. The moral intern? What's that? The Moralist International are the world's largest political organisation. He pulls on his cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. If I didn't know, how would you describe them? They're a union of centre-left and centre-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most international governmental organisations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They're DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 years ago. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. Who was Dolores Day? A historic figure? The author of the modern age? He thinks. We'll have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why. What was their symbol? Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge that they want you to think of them for that. Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. What do you think of them? The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And, he looks at the city below, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It's more than that. There's some kind of affection in him. You like the moral intern? I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky, he quotes. They're not all that bad. The years have changed that. I don't know. I don't now. Oh, it's misspelt. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. He thinks, then changes his mind. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. I have an opinion on the moral intern. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't humanism. We are in what's called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we're simply vigilantes. Actually, vigilantes is okay with me. Then you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally, I don't enjoy it much. He looks at the roundabout. The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over. Just look at the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day, for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. Finally pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here. And that mouth, the mouth on that kid Kuno, it's different inland. For God's sake, it's different inland. In Jamrock and the GRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. And in Jamrock and the GRRH?" He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are." He shakes his head. "We are in control, and it's worth it. The organisation works. Our systems work. If they didn't, this city would disintegrate." Night. Captain Ptolemy Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by a motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead. The sky is black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat as he mounts the horse to head home. Rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalk, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Around him the streets are silent. A kid on the corner waves at the captain as he takes the turn on Perdition and Main. The horse neighs. The captain nods back. "Thanks, kid," he says. He's grateful. "I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good." "Me too," he says quietly. "But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetime. Thank you for this, Kim." It's getting really cold now. Let's go. He stubs out his cigarette and looks to the door.
Yes?
Maybe we should have put some points in Inland Empire. That'll be our next port of call. Good night, Kim. Mate, as soon as you're asleep... I'm not sure here. Do I take the drugs that we've been given? Or do we just have a nice relaxing sleep? Should we do something sensible? Or should we party like a fucking maniac? Let's at least tidy up around here, yeah? It's not time to rest yet. I'm sure there must be some benefit to exploring the world. There must be some benefit to it. Have we gained any physical prowess justifying attempting to grab this again? I feel like we can grab the tie if we put a point in savoir-faire. I'm going to go knock on her door and see if she's got anything to say to us, because she was interesting. As you hold the metal, you sense the warmth left there by her hand. Nothing. Suppress the urge. The murmur in your ears recedes slowly. Your breathing normalizes. That's one lucky door. We're not going to go out and do anything dodgy. I'm still tempted to take our drugs that we've got. It increases our psych. Okay. We're going to bed. We're going to be sensible and we're going to go to bed. I'm sure there's a lot more we could do. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed. But it's not happening. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillow. It's synthetic. Its synthetic filling is separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under the thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colours. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Colours, scenes and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with... What was it the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slow and brainwaves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Ooh. Oh, where are we? We're in a bizarre dreamscape. Can we go through the fog? Guessing that's a no. No, we can't. We have to go and check this corpse. There are some pretty colours out here. Like a disco ball corpse. Hello. Oh, it's me. Oh.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This'll be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
You said, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I left.
Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. While you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What's Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep-talking, and the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head. Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
Oh God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh, that was marvellous. What an excellent way to wake up. And what an excellent way to end our episode there with borderline psychotic episode, I imagine. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. It's a pleasure to present another episode of Disco Elysium to you after a marvellous weekend of relaxation, which hasn't really happened. I'm just making it up. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to pop that subscribe button, pop that like button, drop a comment down below if you feel so inclined. I really appreciate it. It would mean an awful lot to me. I've been very keen to produce YouTube videos for quite a while. I might not be doing the best job of it at the moment, but it's all practice and I'm really enjoying the practice. So thanks very much. Catch you on the next episode. Have a great time. Take care now. Bye bye. Bye bye.